Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we'll be making this beautiful Bubu gown that you saw on the thumbnail, and I am using Ankara for my own, and I'm gonna head to fold my fabric. We are cutting the back and the front together. So this is how to fold yours. You fold for the wider part and then fold over again. Whatever you're going to be folding will be enough for your hip measurement divided by 4 plus your sleeve measurement. So we are cutting the back and the front together, and we are cutting it with the sleeve together. I hope you understand this. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to mark out the label on my Ankara fabric, and from there I am going to go ahead and take my measurement. So I'm going to go ahead and take my full measurement, which is at 42 inches, and this style is for a 6-year-old girl. So I'll mark my length and then add 2 inches stitching allowance for it, and I'm going to go ahead and then connect this line straight. Once we are done with that, we are going to go ahead and mark the straight line at the starting point. So that will serve as our starting point, and I'll place my tape, still placing my tape at that starting point. I'm going to go ahead and mark my bust point, or let's say my armhole area, and I am marking at 9 inches. Then from there I'll mark my waistline, which is at 13 inches, and then I'll go ahead and mark my hip point, which is at 22 inches or 21 inches. So I'll just go ahead and mark all these lines across. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to mark half of my shoulder measurement. That's my shoulder measurement divided by 2. I'll make a mark there and then connect it to my bust point. Once I am done with that, we are going to go ahead and mark our neckline, and for the width of the neckline I am marking at 3 inches. For this neckline I am marking just the back neckline for now, and then for the length of it, or the depth of it, I am marking 1 inch, so 3 inches by 1 inch. Once I am done with that, I'm going to go ahead and mark my sleeve length. So my sleeve length is starting from that shoulder measurement that we just marked, and I added 2 inches stitching allowance to it. And then I'm going down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope, and I'll go ahead and connect it to our starting point. Once I am done with this, I'm just extending my sleeve line towards the bust point. So I'm just going to go ahead and add 1/4 of my bust measurement. That's my bust measurement divided by 4. I'll add about 1 inch for ease, and then I added 1 inch allowance for stitching allowance. You can increase this 1 inch ease measurement. In fact, I would advise that you increase it by about 2 inches or 1.5 inches before adding your own stitching allowance. Then I went ahead to mark my sleeve opening, and then I'll go ahead and connect these points. Once I am done with that, we are going to go ahead and insert our hip measurement, our waist measurement, sorry, adding 1 inch for ease and then 1 inch for stitching allowance. Just like I mentioned for the bust point, for ease, add about 1.5 or 2 inches. It will give you a better result, because why I finished my own, I found out that it was I was finding it difficult to put it on for my daughter. So if you want it to be more free, increase your free allowance. Then I went ahead to insert my hip measurement. Then I will go ahead and connect this line. You can see the way I am slanting it. It's not a straight cut line. I slanted it a bit to meet our hemming line. So I'm just going using my chalk to adjust all my measurements, especially that at that armhole area, so that it is not so curvy. And that's basically all for the bodice as we continue with the neckline area and every other side. If you haven't subscribed, please take 1 minute to hit on the subscribe button. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed to my channel. So I will separate the bodice and then cut out the back neckline. So we are going to go ahead and work on our front neckline, and for this, remember we took 3 inches for our front neckline for our neckline width. So I'll mark the same measurement and then turn it to the other side and also mark the same measurements, the same 3 inches. Then we are going to go ahead and open this up. So once you open it up, you can see the measurement, the width measurement that we marked earlier. So at the one side of it, I think at my right side, I went down by 6 inches, and then at my left side, I am going down by 2 inches. So you are going to be using your free hand to draw this design. It's not something that you can use your ruler to do, but if you want, you can also find your way around the ruler. But it's a design that you use your hand to keep drawing until you have a perfect style of what you want. So once I am done with this and I'm satisfied with what I have, I'll go ahead and cut this out. So this is for our front neckline. So you're going to be getting a fabric for it, and I am using this yellow fabric for my. So I'm just going ahead to measure my neckline, and as you know that it's going to be 6 inches because we took 3 inches for the width. And then I'll measure where I have my shoulder measurement is going to be stopping, because for the style the plain fabric is going to be extending towards our shoulder measurement. So once I make that mark, I'm going to go ahead and place the plain fabric on it. So I just measured the area we're going to be attaching this to, so that I can cut it out. And for the width of it, I have about 12 inches. And then for the length of it is going to be extending towards our waist measurement, towards our waistline. So for my waistline is 13 inches. So I'm going to be adding 1 inch stitching allowance to it. So I'll mark at 14 inches, and then for the width, I marked at 13 inches. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut out these measurements. So this is it. After we are done cutting it out, I'm going to go ahead and attach it to the bodice. And to attach it, I have the front of my plain pattern facing the back of my bodice. I hope you understand this. Then I'll make sure I centralize it, making sure that the is placed at the center of the plain fabric, and then I'll go ahead and start pinning this down. Once I am done pinning it down, I'm going to go ahead and top stitch it all around. So we are going to go ahead and cut out our facing for our back bodice. And for this, you see I have my fabric folded in 2-2, and then we are going to be placing the folded part of the bodice onto the folded part of the piece that we want to cut out. So I'm just tracing out my neckline and then my arm, my shoulder measurement, and then I'll go ahead and start marking 3 inches from that place we traced out all around. So once I'm done with that, I'll cut it out, and that's for our back facing. So I'll bring in my neckline, my back neckline. I will be doing front facing front and then stitch it down. So this is for our front one. We are done stitching it down. I'm just going to go ahead and cut out all the excesses, and I'll go ahead and make notches where necessary so that we can turn it to the right side. So this is it. Once you turn it to the right side, I'm going to go ahead and top stitch it all around. So this is it. After I was done top stitching, I'm just taking out all my pins, and you can see it is coming together. I'll go ahead and start folding in the side of it. If you are using a different fabric, or you want yours to come out the way it is on the thumbnail, please go ahead and start working on it. If you look at it, you'll see that that is not just a plain fabric. There is a lot of work that went on it. But for me, I'm just using a plain fabric on my Ankara. So I went ahead to stitch it all around. I'm just cutting out the excess I have at the shoulder area. So we are going to go ahead and bring in our back bodice, and I'm done stitching it down. I'll make notches around the neckline, and then I'll turn it to the wrong side. If you have a serging machine at this point, please go ahead and serge your facing piece. So this is it. After I am done, go ahead and iron it, and then bring out our front bodice. So I'll go ahead and arrange this very well, and then I'll start pinning it from the shoulder area from one side to the other. Then I'll stitch it down and do the same thing for the other side. So this is it. After I was done, we are going to work on the sleeve, and I'm going to be folding it in by the allowance that we added, and I'll do the same thing for the other side. So this is it. After we are done, we are going to go ahead and work on the seam side, and I'll be stitching from one end to the other, from the sleeve to the armhole to the waistline to the hip, and then to the hem of it once I am done arranging it. And I'll do the same thing for the other side, and I'll go ahead and hem it. And that's all for this style. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you do, subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed to my channel. And to my old subscribers, I say thank you very much for all your support. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.